Hello and welcome. We start with Burkina Faso. The West African nation has formalized a major nuclear agreement with Russia. Now, Russia's state nuclear giant, Rosatom, will now collaborate with Ibrahim Traore-led Burkina Faso to develop nuclear infrastructure for peaceful purposes. The announcement was made by Burkina Faso's Minister of Energy, Yakuba Zabre, and this during a media interview, where he said that the deal represents the final administrative step in a broader framework of nuclear cooperation between the two countries. Now, the agreement aims to help Burkina Faso to diversify its energy sources and to address the country's chronic electricity shortages. Burkina Faso is one of the world's least electrified countries. Under the deal, Rosatom will support the construction of nuclear power plants, research reactors, and will provide critical services across the nuclear fuel cycle. The deal follows Russia's approval last week of similar nuclear arrangements with Mali, another junta-led neighbor in the Sahel region. For Moscow, these agreements are a part of a larger strategy to strengthen its footprint in Africa. Through Rosatom, Russia has been expanding its nuclear presence across the continent. Apart from Sahel, it has struck deals with countries including Egypt, South Africa, Rwanda, and Sudan for reactors, power plants, and uranium mining projects. Experts say these deals are designed to advance Moscow's geopolitical interests, allowing Vladimir Putin to build strategic alliances and gain resource access, as well as circumvent Western sanctions. Now, Russia offers financing, technical training, and infrastructure development, a package that is highly appealing to African states that are witnessing energy shortages. This strategy is particularly effective in Francophone countries, many of which are turning away from traditional Western partners and toward Moscow. Burkina Faso's ties with Russia have deepened dramatically in the past year, not just in energy, but also in security. The country has expelled French troops and is now working closely with Russia to fight Islamist insurgencies. In May, Burkina Faso's military leader, Ibrahim Traore, met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow and called for stronger military ties. Traore said his country has many projects lined up with the Russian Defense Ministry. Now, as Burkina Faso pursues a strategic realignment, its partnership with Russia signals a broader shift across the Sahel, where military-led governments are looking for new partners for energy, security, and development support. Now, for more on this, we have with us Beverly Ochieng, who is a senior analyst at Control Risks, joining us live from Senegal, Dakar. Thank you for being with us, Beverly.
Nice speaking to you again, Alison.
What are the strategic motivations behind Burkina Faso's pursuit of nuclear energy through this partnership with Russia? And how does this align with the country's broader energy security goals?
Well, Burkina Faso's military-led government wants to use this agreement to diversify its capacity to generate electricity. It has a rising demand from a growing urban population, but it also plans to expand industrialization and the production of local produce. We've seen recently, Traore, the military leader, inaugurating factories, and his administration is also keen to mechanize agriculture. But then Burkina Faso still exports 60% of electricity. About 25% of the population has access to the grid. It's not very clear how much nuclear energy would contribute to the energy mix, but broadly speaking, Burkina Faso has been trying to move away from non-renewables, diesel-operated generators for electricity, towards renewable and sustainable sources. These agreements with Russia are quite symbolic, but it does demonstrate that Russia will play a central role in Burkina Faso's economic and energy development.
And given the involvement of Russia's state-owned Rosatom, what safeguards and regulatory measures are in place to ensure that the development of nuclear infrastructure in Burkina Faso remains peaceful and adheres to the international non-proliferation norms?
Well, Rosatom broadly has a track record of nuclear energy development and agreements, as you pointed out, and across the continent, and about 90% of global nuclear energy exports. But also, as a Russian state entity, it's responsible for ensuring that nuclear energy is developed for non-proliferation. Given the strategic position of the Sahel, however, the hostilities with the West, the militant insurgency, and the accessibility of uranium ore, primarily maybe from neighboring Niger, the project will likely face a lot of scrutiny. Burkina Faso itself has not said that it's going to use nuclear energy for any other reasons, and it does not have the capacity to divert nuclear energy resources, but it will be subjected to oversight, of course, in the event that this project does come to fruition.
And Beverly, what are the main technical, financial, and human resource challenges that Burkina Faso may face in implementing this nuclear project? And how does the agreement with Russia propose to overcome them, particularly regarding local capacity building and technology transfer?
I mean, yes, Burkina Faso, the budget is largely on the militant insurgency. There is an allocation for education, but with nuclear energy, it's quite in flux. It doesn't have the technical capacity to operate a nuclear power plant or reactor, or how to even manage waste from nuclear power generation. In fact, during the interview with Sputnik, the Russian state news agency, the Burkinabe minister himself said his country will wait for financial and technical support from Russia. Rosatom, which is where Russia is using this, is probably going to be the one building the nuclear power plant. They'll probably bring in their own technology for a start. But given Burkina Faso's nationalist drive, they will be keen to ensure that there's technical expertise being passed along to Burkinabe nationals. So we might see scholarships for students or even local universities teaching about nuclear energy use.
Right. Beverly, as always, great to have you on the show. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.